This deconstructed California roll will be a hit at your next party. If you think rolling sushi is hard, you'll love this recipe. Easy to make and super fun to eat. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. I recently brought this to a dinner party and it was such a hit. Everyone was just shocked at how delicious it was and how fun it was to eat. What is most awesome about this recipe is that it's not complicated. So I'm starting with green onions. I've got 3 giant stalks of green onions. These are from my garden. Remember those butts I've been collecting? Well, this is kind of the results of them. And I have so many growing in my garden. So I'm just gonna chop this up. We're gonna use half of it in our crab mixture, and the other half is going to be garnish. Okay, half of this is going to go into the bowl. And the other half is going to be set aside. I have 2 small packages of imitation crab meat. It's about 200 grams per package, so 400 grams total, almost a pound. And I mean, if you're feeling baller, you can use real crab meat, but I think I saw real crab meat at like, I don't know, it's outrageous, 60 bucks a pound. Sorry, but I'm not spending $60 a pound on crab meat. I'm just gonna chop this up a little bit. If you don't want to use crab meat, you can definitely use other items just to be sure that whatever you're choosing to use, if this dish is going to be sitting out for a while, you want to make sure that, well, that it can stand sitting out. You don't want raw ingredients in there. That might make people sick if it's been sitting out too long. If you want a baked option, I do have that. Check out that video. It's called Sushi Bake, and I use shrimp. Okay, this is going into the bowl, and I have another package to cut up. And the second package. Adding a couple pinches of salt, just season it a bit, not too much. I'm also using a Japanese mayo, and we're going to use about 3/4 cup. Okay, Japanese mayo is just eggier, maybe a little bit saltier than regular mayonnaise. So you can definitely use regular mayonnaise. It's not going to change the flavor too much. It'll be just as delicious. I'm using Japanese sushi rice, and it's basically a short grain rice, and it's stickier than a jasmine rice or a basmati rice, and it's perfect for sushi. I made it already in my electric pressure cooker, but you can definitely make it in a rice cooker. I'm not exactly sure how to do it on the stovetop because I've never cooked sushi rice that way, but I'm sure you can find that on Google somewhere. I made 3 rice cups worth of sushi rice, and it's approximately 500 grams of uncooked rice. We're making a seasoning for the rice, and that will be 3/8 of a cup of rice vinegar, so 3/8 of a cup is 6 tablespoons if you wanted to use that measurement instead. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. To make this dissolve more quickly, I'm going to stick it in the microwave for a little bit, heat up that vinegar, and we'll dissolve that sugar. I also want to add 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. And we'll just stir this until everything dissolves. I'm going to fluff up the rice. I'm going to pour in our seasoning. And I'm just going to stir it up to make sure all of the vinegar has been absorbed into the rice. And if you wanted to adjust the amount you're making, essentially for 1 rice cup of sushi rice, you're using 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and half a teaspoon of salt. And you can adjust from there depending on how much you're making. Right, just grab a dish that you're gonna serve it in. Maybe something like a 9 by 13 inch baking pan would also work, or a casserole dish is what I'm using. And we're just going to put all the rice at the bottom.
The thing with this dish too is that you're not spending all your time constructing the rolls.
Oh, I know. I don't know about you guys. If you've tried making sushi before, I have, and it's a lot of work trying to get that sushi rice to stick on the seaweed in such a way that it's thin and not too much rice before you put in the filling without the filling squirting out the sides. And then you have to cut them. Oh my Lanta, that's a chore in itself. I'm also going to add some furikake, and that's essentially a seaweed seasoning. And I'm just gonna season the top of the rice. Probably need about a tablespoon or 2, depending on how much you want to add, and you can add as much as you like. Next goes the crab. And we're just gonna spread it evenly all over the top of the rice. Next goes the avocados. And we're just gonna slice it thinly. And using a spoon, just scrape it all the way underneath. And then we're just going to layer them down. Kind of spread them out a little bit. And an easy way to get the pit out is just get your knife in there and pull it out.
Sweet.
All right. So that was 2 avocados. Okay, we're gonna add some more mayo. Also going to add a little bit more furikake. Some roasted sesame seeds. And if you wanted, you can also add like slivered cucumber, tobiko, which I had forgotten to purchase, and that green onion that we had saved. Does that look good or what?
That looks awesome.
Last but not least, the seaweed. You can't have sushi without seaweed. So I have these already cut in small pieces. If you're not able to find these ones, you can just buy the normal packages of seaweed that comes in like a giant square, and then you just cut them up into quarters. But these that come in the little packets are also seasoned. So I actually find them, it adds so much more flavor to the sushi, but you can find like regular nori in those larger packages. It shouldn't be a problem. So your party guests are going to take a piece of seaweed, and they're going to take a small scoop of the deconstructed California roll, and that's it. They're going to fold it up however they want, like a taco, and they're going to take a bite. But I know you don't want me to take the bite. Jude's going to come take the bite. Are you all ready?
Yep.
The taste. Now this is so easy that maybe even I could make it. And when we brought it over to that friend's place, everyone was so surprised. But you know, guys, it's California roll, but just the presentation and the fact that they get to put it together themselves whether very little or a lot overflowing is awesome. And the mouthfeel is different because you're just, the seaweed is like crisper, you know, because you're just putting it together. Let's get into this. Chef's kiss. So good, creamy, the umami of the mayo and the seasoning of the rice all together, the furikake. I mean, yeah, it's a California roll, but delish and easy, feeds a lot of people, and it's fun. So you guys got to do this.
All right, thanks, dude.
Uh-huh.
So surprise your friends at your next gathering and try out this super easy and fun recipe. For other easy Japanese favorites, check it out. I will see you over there.